Welcome, comrades, to our quick dive into how Marxism influenced anti-colonial struggles in Africa. We're talking revolutions, liberation movements, and the fall of empires. In just 5 minutes, we'll explore key movements and alliances that shaped the fight for independence. From the streets of Algiers to the bush camps of Mozambique, we'll unpack how the ideas of a certain bearded German philosopher found fertile ground in Africa's fight against colonialism. Our first stop takes us to North Africa, to Algeria, a nation where the sun beats down as hard as the spirit of revolution.
Enter the National Liberation Front, the FLN, a group of freedom fighters who said, "Enough is enough, we want our land back." Now, the FLN weren't card-carrying communists, but they dug Marx's ideas about class struggle and fighting oppression. They saw their fight against French colonialism as a classic case of the haves versus the have-nots, the colonizers versus the colonized.
The FLN's struggle was brutal, a guerrilla war that lasted 8 long years. The French tried everything to hold on to their prized possession, but the FLN's determination, combined with their savvy use of propaganda and international pressure, eventually forced France to concede defeat. In 1962, after years of bloodshed, Algeria finally won its independence. Now let's journey south to a region grappling with the iron grip of Portuguese colonialism: Mozambique, Angola, Guinea-Bissau. These countries, rich in resources but starved of freedom, saw the rise of Marxist-oriented liberation movements like Frelimo in Mozambique, MPLA in Angola, and PAIGC in Guinea-Bissau.
These movements, inspired by the successes in Algeria and fueled by Marxist ideology, recognized that their struggle against Portuguese colonialism wasn't just about national liberation, it was about social and economic justice. They saw colonialism as a system designed to keep the masses impoverished, while a select few, the colonial elite, reaped the benefits.
They launched armed struggles, waging guerrilla warfare against the Portuguese, turning the region into a battleground for freedom. They mobilized their people, creating a united front against colonial rule.
These movements understood that true liberation went beyond simply kicking out the colonizers. It meant dismantling the entire system of oppression, the economic structures that kept their people impoverished.
Our final stop takes us to the front lines of the struggle against apartheid, to Zimbabwe and South Africa.
In Zimbabwe, which was then called Rhodesia, a white minority regime clung to power, denying the black majority their basic rights. The struggle for Zimbabwe's liberation was deeply intertwined with Marxist ideology.
Robert Mugabe's ZANU-PF, a movement heavily influenced by Marxist-Leninist thought, emerged as a leading force in the fight against white minority rule.
They argued that true liberation wouldn't come simply by replacing white faces with black faces in positions of power. It required a fundamental restructuring of society, a redistribution of wealth, and an end to all forms of exploitation.
Meanwhile, down south in South Africa, the African National Congress, locked in a fierce battle against the brutal apartheid regime, found a powerful ally in the South African Communist Party.
This alliance proved instrumental in dismantling apartheid, demonstrating the potent synergy between Marxism and the struggle for racial justice. All right, comrades, that was a whirlwind tour of how Marxism left its mark on Africa's anti-colonial struggles. From Algeria to South Africa, the ideas of a certain bearded German dude found fertile ground in the hearts and minds of those fighting for freedom. Now, it's important to remember that the relationship between Marxism and these movements was complex, often marked by both inspiration and tension. Thanks for watching. If you found this overview insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical deep dives. Stay tuned for our next video where we explore another pivotal moment in history.